Good evening, everybody. We're live right here in Delaware's capital at a mile-long concrete oval that houses some of the most intense racing in NASCAR today and also had some of the biggest crowds on the eastern seaboard way back when. And it all goes back to the Monster Mile, a place where we get to see the best drivers in the world battle door to door here at the Dover International Speedway. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to race number 5 of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker. We're here for race 5, the Monster Mile 160, so it's 160 miles, meaning it's 160 laps, and you never know what you're going to get out of these laps. I'm Hunter Sleppy, your lead announcer, and joining me in the booth, as always, is executive producer Harold Darner, and in just a moment, we'll be hearing from Josh Medlock. Josh is back this week, and he's feeling a little bit under the weather, but nonetheless, he still made the trip to Dover. He's just getting something to drink right now. But Harold, how's everything going?
Doing pretty good. New week, and actually, my commute has been cut down quite a bit. It's our local track.
I think it'll be the lowest that it'll be. Last week we were at Auto Club on the West Coast, and in case you missed last week, I have a little recap video for you just here. The Elite Entertainment Cup Series went to Auto Club Speedway last week for race number 4 of Season 2. And here's a little recap of what went down. And very early on, we saw a lot of early cautions. We saw the audio sounds okay in that, right? Get loose, but in the back, it was Delonte Ballard getting loose and
it should be fine.
The car out, collecting a number of other drivers.
I didn't have you muted until just now.
In the air over in turn 4, and then later on in the race, we would have Daniel Miglin get involved in an accident with Rafe Slate, as it was kind of the pattern of the night, just the looseness of the race cars, as we see Drew Trader doing that as well, just losing the car and spinning like a top that time in turn 4. And the next caution would come out basically for the same reason, with Randy Bechtel in there collecting Will Davis. Eli Green was spinning in the grass as well, and it didn't end there, it just continued. We had a good battle for the lead between Jake Nichols and Nick Johnston, but in the back, it was the 8 of Alverson getting into the 3 of Ryan Hartz, and Hartz was trying to hold on to the car, keeping it from spinning out of control, and Dwayne Culberson nowhere to go, collecting the number 3 of Ryan Hartz. And then we move up later on in the race with Cameron Hearn getting a tap from Eli Green, spinning into the inside wall back on the racetrack. Had a couple of cars spin to avoid hitting the 67, careening back on the front stretch, and then Gary Lewis getting loose in turn 3, hitting Delonte Ballard once again. But after about the halfway point, we had some solid racing for the lead. We had Jake Nichols, Nick Johnston, Garrett Heath, Alan Balancino, Paul Irvin. I mean, you name it. We had about 7 cars in the pack at one point battling it out for the lead. Here's Johnston going to the lead, going into turn 1. Before Jake Nichols comes back on the outside, Johnston shuts the door, but Nichols will come down and attempt to cross over. Garrett Heath was behind the 28 of Johnston, keeping that 28 car next to the 91. They were side by side going through the corner, and the top would prevail as Jake Nichols had no help right behind him. Everybody went up to the top, and that was all she wrote for that moment. Then we move into our in-car cam with David Weishart in the 33 as he made his way through the pack. So here he is on the outside looking for the second position. Rolling through 3 and 4, that is Nick Johnston to his inside. Weishart would get in the mix, and Alan Balancino took the lead as these guys go 3 wide heading into turn 1. And it continues in the next handful of laps as Nichols comes back, cuts down to the bottom, has help this time, and he clears Balancino before they get into the corner. An impressive move from the 91. And this is more snake method racing as guys were swerving up and down the front stretch to break up the draft or to stay in the draft. Then later on, we would have pit stops near 20 to go. It was a fuel mileage race for those that stayed out, including race leader Jake Nichols. and this benefited well for Ed Robertson. Alan Balancino tried to hold on to the lead for as long as he could, but Ed Robertson made his move at the right time in turn number 3. Weishart, all he could do was watch as the 64 car went below and passed the 70 of Balancino through 3 and 4. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was your race-winning move, because after that, no one could get around Ed Robertson, the Muffin Man. And they roll off turn 4 for the final time, and Ed Robertson got his first win of the season last week at Auto Club. And boys, I don't know what tonight has in store for us, but it's going to be a blast at Dover. It's very true. You never know what you're going to expect in a lap at Dover, Delaware, as we have bankings of 14 degrees in the turns, although it's pretty steep. Actually, you know what? I don't think that's accurate. I am reading off last week's notes, and I did not change the banking. I knew I was missing something, but pretty steep banking here at Dover. It always seems like the corner exit, especially turn 2 and turn 4, it's where the wall just comes out and bites you. I believe we got Josh in here now. Josh, how's everything going?
Oh, it's to go. I'm watching these guys practice here at the Monster Mile. Let me tell you, with all these cars out here, it's definitely going to be a monster out here tonight, huh, Harold?
Oh, absolutely. Monster is the name of the track mascot. Actually, it's Miles the Monster. He's over there in the top right of your picture, just below the One to Go logo, is a statue that sits right outside of the racetrack over by the turn 4 side. There he is. And he's always looking for cars. Always looking to see which one he can add to his collection.
Well, we've
got quite a bit of top of our practice sheet. One of which being Justin Wilson. He's the quickest in our practice session so far, but for the longest time, it was James Scioli leading the field by quickest speed. And we got Corey Carpenter as well, third quickest. None of these guys have won a race this season, and we're on our 5th race of 17 for season 2. And in the first 4, we've had a different winner in each race. You got to go back to Daytona, which Brad Slaughter won. Jake Nichols won at Phoenix. Eli Green had a controversial win at the Bristol Dirt Track. And then just last week, Ed Robertson, the Muffin Man, got his first win of the season. And we go to Dover, Delaware now. Could we see a 5th different winner? And it could be any one of the top 3 here. Guys, what do you think?
Well, I think it could be pretty much, like you said, anybody of the top 3. It could be anybody in the back right now. Watching practice, it could be anybody. It's when you get down to the race time where it really all, comes out to play. And you're looking at a fuel of, what is it, close to 90 laps on fuel. Tires are not going to hold up that long.
No, tires will be an issue. These guys have 3 sets to use in the under 60 lap race, and I'm looking through here as we look at our points picture. Those top 4, they all have a win. They are all locked in, and Brad Slaughter wasn't even going to do a full race or a full season schedule. He's only going to do the Area 500. He won that, and was like, you know what, might as well. And he is locked in, as is Jake Nichols, Eli Green, Ed Robertson. All those guys have a win. They are in. Dom DeLeo is the highest in the points without a win, currently 5th. And you got to go down to Forrest Smith, who holds that last playoff spot. And it as a surprise to see Cameron Hearn not in the playoffs. He is the first car out by 1 point. This is a very interesting list, because last time we were here for the Cup Series, Ryan Hartz, he sits 9th in the points. He won at Dover for the Cup Series last year, and he wasn't even running full-time. He is running full-time this season, and I gotta say that he's my pick because of how dominant he was at Bristol for the Xfinity cars, the Lodge Box Series. He had a perfect race, as perfect as you can get. He won the pole, led a lap, led the most laps, led every lap, and won the race. So I got to go early here with my pick. It's Ryan Hartz in the 3. It just seems like anytime we go to a short track, he's always one to watch out for.
If I had to pick somebody, I would go with Justin Wilson. I think that's who I'm actually going to go with.
So Wilson is the pick for Josh. As we look at our team standings here, it's a very tight race up front. The first 4 positions in the championship standings for the teams separated by 5 points. And got Solar Flare Racing, the new team, leading by 4 points over Transcendent Motorsports, with Fazekas and Jacob Bell Racing tied for third at 269. And Infinite with 252. David Weishart Racing 242. Elite Entertainment now 236. And Elwood Design Esports sitting at the bottom at 217, although this can very well change throughout the course of the season as we have qualifying going underway. Got names going across their board on the left side of your screen there. And then on the top right, just below the One to Go logo, you'll see the fastest lap, and that is changing ever so much as Brad Slaughter now goes to the top of the chart. It was held by Alan Balancino. So we're riding on his lap now, and you really got to be careful with the exit of the corners. As we mentioned, turn 2, turn 4, it's going to be a hectic one. That wall just kind of pokes out of nowhere. Like you get in a groove, you start to move up the track, and then on the corner exit, it just bites you. And that could be the make it or break it lap that you have to put down here.
Oh yeah, definitely. So qualifying is so important too. And here at Dover, Hunter, if you go a lap down and you have those long green flag runs and say it doesn't even, you don't even get a caution, it is so difficult to get the lap back, and track position is so important.
No, absolutely. Track position is important. And in the past, we've had long green flag runs in this series and at this racetrack. Kind of a different story now that we have more drivers in the field. But we have under 60 laps that we will wait to find out the answers for. So we see Nick Johnson there, the 28. He was up there battling for the win last week at Auto Club. He's currently 9th on our board. The quickest being Connor Okrezik in the 14. He was caught up in a crash last week at Auto Club, and he's currently the fastest driver by a hefty amount over David Weishart.
It was Cameron Hearn not having a win so far this season, and it's unlike him to not have a win yet and be locked in. However, give it time. Cameron will get a win here sooner or later.
He has been in position for every race except for last week at Auto Club. He was running inside the top 10, but he had a bad bump from Eli Green. And it sent him spinning into the inside wall on the front stretch. But every other race, he's been in position to win. He got passed on the last lap by Brad Slaughter. He was second fiddle to Jake Nichols at Phoenix. And then Bristol Dirt, that was a controversial one. He wall rode, but it was deemed not. It wasn't an approved move because he wall rode through 3 and 4 in the last turn, and he got sent to the tail end of the longest line. So he wound up, instead of finishing first, finishing in 20th. Now here's Dwayne Culberson in the number 81. He is also looking to have a bounce back race here at Dover. He was actually caught up in the wreck with Ryan Hartz, who was running inside the top 5 last week. Got help from behind from Matt Alverson. His car was spinning from the top to the bottom, and Dwayne Culberson caught him nowhere to go. He's 26th quickest on his first lap, but should expect to see that number move up on the leaderboard for the second lap.
Watching the 31 of James Shane Wolf right now. He's on his first lap here. It looks like he'll be completing it here just now.
Ooh. Wow, we saw the 81 there get sideways, and that is not going to be an improvement on his lap. We look at James now in the 31 car. He is last season's ARCA champion, and he made the jump up to the Cup Series. Looks like a pretty good lap there. We'll see when he crosses the stripe. He jumps up to 8th on the board. Pretty solid lap time there from James, and got to go up to P6. Nate Trito returns to the Cup Series, and he's got the 6th fastest time. Always good to see Nate Trito back. for area iRacing. And James Skylerly on his first lap, 29th quickest. He was the second fastest man in practice. Justin Wilson, the quickest, is actually 9th on our qualifying chart. So there's some differences there in race trim and qualifying trim as we see James go across the stripe, and he moves up to P5 on the board. So keep an eye on that 7 car. James Skylerly, the 5th quickest time in qualifying. He's showing some speed here.
Yeah, he is. Early on. But I think he's holding some back.
And Paul Irvin now going out for his lap. And if you're a member of the channel, a follower, a subscriber, you can partake in the new channel point system that we are creating or have created. And we have a whole question now. Which team will win tonight's race? So there are 8 options, actually 9, excuse me. You can select anyone from David Weishart Racing, Jacob Bell Racing, Team Transcendent, Elite Entertainment, Physiquez Motorsports, Infinite Gaming, Elwood Design Esports, Solar Flare Racing, and The Field. So you can select non-team if you think someone like let's say, who's not on the team? Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson isn't on the team. You can select non-field or non-team, excuse me. So how this all goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my pick down, and it gives the example here. So you can type in !bet, and you select the team. So if I'm picking Ryan Hartz, that means I'm gonna go with Jacob Bell Racing. So JBR, the initials for that team, and you can put up as many channel points as you want. I'm going to go ahead and put a soft 50 down. So it's !, the team name, and however many channel points you want to put down. So 50 points on Jacob Bell Racing. And that is how you do it. And if you want to find out where you're at in your standings for channel points, type !store, and the link will pop up for that. It's streamelements.com/area iRacing/store, and you can look to see all the cool prizes that you can win. You can win anything from an area sticker to a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, but it's limited, so you got to make sure you rack up those points. It's 5 points every 10 minutes for followers, and it's double that for subscribers. So 10 points for every 10 minutes that you watch on this channel. So make sure you're following, you're subscribed, and you're racking up your points. As we have less than 2 minutes to go in our qualifying session, still Connor Okresic, the fastest driver. Weishart second, Carpenter third, Cameron Hearn fourth, James Skylerly still fifth. We have a handful of drivers who have yet to go out for their lap time. Actually, Matt Alverson, I'm looking there. Chris Seinfein went out. Michael Larch also went out, but those laps did not count. Michael Larch had a 23.1, the fastest of those laps that did not count. That would have been good for, if I'm looking at this correctly, would have been 18th. No, 19th, sorry.
I was just looking at it, Hunter, not to try to interrupt you, talking about qualifying here. Qualifying is, first time I've ever seen it is under a severe scrutiny. I don't understand. I've never seen
severe scrutiny. I mean, some drivers like to go out and...
Severe scrutiny is an iRacing. You could select that based on how they set up the session. It basically, if you touch the wall, leave the racing surface, turn the car backwards, basically anything that could be deemed as in trying to get an unfair advantage, your time will be disqualified. That's pretty much what that means.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just the basic thing, but anything you did. Anyway, yeah, okay.
Tuning in, pulling for Brad Slaughter, currently looking up a ton. Just trying to find where he's at on our board. Boy, I cannot find him. Huh. Oh, there he is. Sorry, he is 16th quickest. And that's going to do it for qualifying, so we'll go ahead and grid him up here for the Monster Mile 160 at Dover, Delaware. It's going to be Connor Okresic on the pole with David Weishart starting in second. Row 2, Corey Carpenter and Cameron Hearn. Row 3, James Scioli and last week's winner, Ed Robertson. Row 4, it's Nate Trito making his return and Randy Bechtel. Row 5, it's James Shanewolf in the 31 and Justin Wilson, the fastest man in practice. Going to start P10.
Ryan Hart's in 11th, Alan Balancino in 12th, Rafe Slate 13th, Dominic DeLeo 4th, Nicholas Johnston 15th, Brad Slaughter Jr. starting 16th, Shane Williams 17th, Matthew Robinson in 18th, Will Davis 19th, Eli Green starting 20th.
And starting 21st, it's going to be Jay Perkins in the 49, Daniel Miglin in the 4, going to start 22nd. Delonte Ballard and Forrest Smith in row 12. Garrett Heath and Dwayne Culberson, row 13. Row 14, it's Mark Patterson and Gary Lewis, with row 15 being Jake Nichols and the number 30 of Ethan Kurtz.
Garrett D. Grant 31st, Jacob Bell 32nd, Paul Irvin 33rd, Jordan Martin 34th, Tyler Nichols 35th, Michael Larch 36th, Chris Seidenfaden 37th, George Rader 38th, Brian Dixon 39th, Matt Alverson 40th, Ryan Swan 41st, and Adam Capps 2nd.
That is your lineup for the 42-car field, so 160 laps, 160 miles from the Monster Mile in Dover International Speedway. Now, I already made my pick, Ryan Swan. Going to start in row 22. That is not my pick. I meant to say Ryan Hart's. He is my pick, and Josh went with Justin Wilson. Harold, who you got?
I'm going to go back with Jake Nichols in the number 91. And just for Ethan Kurtz is listed as the 98, even though his car number looked like the 38. That's a new driver, Ethan Kurtz.
All our picks are in. Make sure all your picks are in the chat. Type in !bet, the team name, and however many channel points you have. The pace car is going to make a hard left turn onto pit road. It's Connor Okresic, David Weishart on the front row, leading this field to the green flag. And here we go, 160 laps from the Monster Mile. Green flag in the air. We're underway from Dover.
Already skedaddling back here. Everybody trying to find a line.
Car in the wall already. It looks to be David Weishart.
Oh.
Nope, not Weishart. Excuse me. It was another red car. Ed Robertson. My apologies. Weishart running in third. Robertson. Oh, he's in the wall again. This time even harder.
Here we go.
Boy, it has narrowed down those straightaways. And the cautions already come out, and I think we can tell why. It all started, got to go back to lap 1 in turn 4. Ed Robertson smacked the wall a decent amount, and then he smacked it even harder coming through turn 2. And then oh my.
Yeah, we're looking at the one-to-go replay right there. Yeah, we see what happened.
Yeah, so it starts all the way back in turn 4. He's already made contact with the wall, but we said in the pre-race, the exit of turn 4 and turn 2, that's where the wall just comes out and it bites you. And it bit Ed Robertson, last week's winner from Auto Club. He didn't even complete a full lap before hitting the wall. And then he hits the wall again coming through turn 2. And we'll take a look at an in-car cam here to show what exactly happened. As he gets into the wall.
Oh.
That was from Randy Bechtel's in-car view. And you can just tell with how narrow the straightaways are, there's really nowhere for anyone to go other than the lane lower. And that's one car that's up in the air. Just trying to figure what car is that?
That would be, let me see, the 53. We've got Shane Williamson on pit road. He was involved in that.
Wow. That was actually Matthew Robinson.
Matthew Robinson. I was just fixing to say the 34. Yes.
So that was Matthew Robinson going up in the air. That's not the first time we've seen this happen here before. If you remember back in 2007, you got to go to the COT era. Kurt Busch smacked the wall a ton, and it just started an absolute melee down the backstretch down in that race. So it's not the first time we've seen that happen, where one car hits the wall and then everyone's trying to avoid the wreck. But because the straightaways are so narrow at this short track, and they're deeply banked too, it really doesn't provide much room for anyone to go. And we've seen the track become blocked quite a bit throughout the years here at Dover as well. And fortunately, we didn't see that happen just now. So we're under caution early here from Dover, the Monster Mile 160. Ed Robertson made contact with the wall twice, once in turn 4, coming to complete the first lap of the race, and then in turn 2. And it sparked an absolute melee behind him, sending the 34 of Matthew Robinson into the air and collecting a number of other drivers as well. Jacob Bell, Chris Scienfine was involved. Daniel Miglin involved as well. Handful of drivers on pit road repairing their damage. And this is one of the unique things about Dover because of how steep the banking is. Got 24 degrees in the corners and then 9 degrees on the straightaways. It really doesn't look that much like the straightaways are banked, at least not on the front stretch, but you just saw that last time by. Down the back stretch with the cars sliding everywhere, just how steep it is, even on the straightaway.
Track is not easy.
Oh, it is not easy. That's why it is tough to tame the monster here. Miles the Monster eating very early from lap number 2, and looks like the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to have the 1 to go. So Connor O'Kresick will lead the field back to the green flag next time by, with Corey Carpenter now on the outside of row 1.
Oh, I've just seen 3 blinking in and out.
The 3 or the 33?
Ryan Hart.
Ryan Hart's the 3, okay.
Yeah.
He is
Currently running in 7th, but yeah, I've been watching blink. Good.
a number of drivers collected in an early caution, looking to get this thing back rolling under the green flag conditions as the pace car pulls in. It's Connor O'Kresick on the bottom, leading the field back to the green flag. Corey Carpenter in second on the outside. And a watch as a control car. O'Kresick launches from the exit of turn 4, and the green flag flies once more from Delaware. And I mean, that was a massive jump. He's already up to a half-second lead. O'Kresick is over the field. That's just smart. I mean,
oh yeah,
the restart zone in real life, it's in turn 4, and we've seen it become a controversy in the past. Got to go back to 2013 with Juan Pablo Montoya and Jimmy Johnson. And Tony Stewart ended up winning that race. So just shows that literally any part of the racetrack plays a factor into your race.
It looks like a lot of single file now. Back field looking at Hunter.
Yeah, a lot of single file action, especially after that first wreck. We saw a lot of side-by-side action, but after that early wreck, guys wanted to calm down. Okay, let's not do this. Let's just log laps and see where our car goes from here. We're looking throughout the field, the single file action as the field drives underneath the Ally fan entrance. The bridge, actually. It's over in turn 2 and turn 3. We'll see that quite often, excuse me, throughout the race.
Whoa! I just seen Rafe Slate, the number 12. It looked like he might have got a little loose, but it wasn't too bad. I guess that's something we're going to have to watch throughout the race.
Yeah, one car that is not looking loose, that's the 7 of James Scioli. He put down the fastest lap just a lap ago in that number 7 car. He was second quickest in practice. It's our quickest driver falling back to 10th. That's Justin Wilson. He's actually side by side now, and a car in the wall scraping that time. It might have been. No, it was him. That was Justin Wilson in the 58. The purple and white car you see there. Oh, and there comes Delonte Ballard actually to the bottom of the track. Actually, no, that is Rafe Slate. The roof number was backwards, and it got me all squirrely. Oh, and squirrely is the 58 of Wilson. Back in the track. Nearly collecting. Like to be. Huh. Boy, a lot of action happens quick here. It's Corey Carpenter is looking down low, trying to get the second spot, or hold on to the second spot from Weishart. Weishart trying to look on the outside. He's fallen like a rock. Nate Trito now up to third. Kind of the domino effect that we're seeing.
By the time you look at it, it's already done and over with.
Yeah, it's kind of like Martinsville. Once you get out of line, it's hard to get back in, especially for a track like Dover where, you know, the classic question comes as to whether this is a short track or a speedway. I mean, it's only a mile long, but it races like a speedway because the straightaways are so long, corners are so banked. Oh, it's sideways. It's a 58 of Wilson. Going to go around. That's going to bring out the caution, the second one of the night. That was the 5 of Garrett Grant getting into the side of him there. It just seems like as soon as you get into that wall, your car just becomes worse and worse, and it's drastically worse.
Oh, we're looking at the one to go here. One to go replay.
He might have had help right here.
Oh.
Yep, he had a little help from one of the Infinite Gaming cars. I believe that was Jay Perkins. That was Jay Perkins in the 49. We'll take a look at it. Yep, just that contact there sent the Justin Wilson machine spinning around. There's the perfect illustration there from Harold, circling where the contact was made. Almost looked like a coconut.
I like that.
So our second caution of the race coming out. We have some pit stops being made. We already got some cars still on pit roads. Looking through here, got some early retirees. Looks like Matthew Robinson is calling it a day. I mean, he went up in the air on lap 2. Doesn't surprise me that car is out. Justin Wilson's in the pit. Still got a handful of guys down pit road.
It looks like Shane Williamson also called it a night as well, huh?
Yeah, Shane Williamson had a big impact there. Daniel Miglin hasn't disconnected yet. Neither is Ed Robertson, but I don't believe they'll return to the track. So here's Jake Nichols. He started back in 30th. He was one of the few drivers that did not elect to qualify. It looks like he's got some damage there on the left side, so he must have been involved in that first wreck as well. Jake had the first win for Solar Flare Racing back at Phoenix in the second race of the season, so he's already got himself locked into the playoffs, not having to worry too much about the damage on that car. And then there's some damage to the front of that number 49 of Jay Perkins, who I believe will be getting the EOL for creating the caution. So, still awaiting word from up top on the tower. As there is his teammate, Garrett Heath. He's also got some damage. He was involved in that first wreck as well. Boy, a lot of cars with damage early on in the going of tonight's race.
Oh, will
There's
anybody come away unscathed here tonight?
I mean, if it can happen at Bristol, it can happen at Dover.
True.
Lights are still on the pace car, so we'll go at least one more lap around this track.
Connor O'Kresick right now, Hunter Harold. He's the guy to beat.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard that we're noticing from the first couple of starts, the initial start and the restart, for anyone behind the leader to go because of where the restart zone is and because of where the pit entrance is, because they can go whenever they want as soon as the pace car gets all four tires below the racing line. And I mean, Connor O'Kresick just times it perfect every time. He starts right there, his jump. I mean, we saw the last time they had a restart. He had a half-second lead by the time they got to turn 2.
Yep.
So track position is very crucial because, say, we have a caution late in the going, we have some drivers stay out. Tire wear may be a concern, but the initial restart shouldn't be a concern if you're the leader.
With the way they're going, tires not really going to be a problem. They can at least save, more and more tires.
And series director Pierce Baffett giving the EOL to Jay Perkins in the 49. So he is down the list of drivers there on the left side of your screen, outside of the top 30. EOL, the end of the line. So he will find himself restarting 34th. Finding himself once again restarting on the front row is that 14 of Connor O'Kresick, the black and white 14, with the 30 of Corey Carpenter to his outside in the blue, yellow, and white Sunoco number 30. There's the pace car pulling back down pit road once again. Starter has the flag in his hand, waiting, and there's the jump right there from Connor O'Kresick. Almost a lane change there from Corey Carpenter. Was close to being one, but he did not go down into that inside lane, and if he did, that would have been a penalty.
Well, let me guess. Can't change lanes before the start-finish line.
Nope. Cannot do that. It was close, but he didn't do it.
It was close.
And he's also keeping that leader of O'Kresick close. Connor did not get a big jump that last time by. And so these guys will start to log laps once again, get settled in, have some single file racing throughout the majority of this field.
I'm back here watching number 51, setting in 33rd. He's in some traffic back here. Mark Patterson, he's got the 98. Whoa, on 98, almost on his tail there.
Oh, they're car in the wall. It looks like that's Miglin in the 4. Yeah, so some of these guys just logging laps, like we said, the 4 of Miglin, obviously with the damage he's got. He's still out there logging laps, trying to get as much points as he can. These guys are all over the place up front. The top 10 have separated themselves from 11th place. It's a sizable gap. First and second are slowly starting to migrate away from this pack up front. And boy, that outside wall, claiming a bunch of drivers. We just saw Weishart and Ballacino get into the wall. And then the last lap by, we saw 28 of Nick Johnson there at the very tail end of that pack scrape the wall as well.
Get out there and move the wall back out just a little bit more.
Yeah, there's so much space back there. Can we push it back a little bit? And then you got to take into account the safer barrier, because that takes away even more room from the racing surface. There's the 3 of Ryan Hart's not blinking anymore. He's running inside the top 5, just behind the 67 of Cameron Hearn. And you never count out Cameron Hearn.
Eli back here looking to make a pass over the 31, and he will do it for 12th. Well, he hasn't completed it yet, but he's still trying.
Yeah, it's a 2-second gap between 11th place Brad Slaughter and 10th place Nick Johnston. That is Slaughter there in the green car just in front. different look on that number 88 car. The green threw me off guard because it looked like the Cup car that Alan Elwood ran last year when he did his race at Pocono. Looked like the Rhino machine, but Brad Slaughter with a new paint scheme, and he's running just a spot shy of that top 10. Ooh, a couple hard hits back there in the wall. And up front, it is James Scioli, he might have collected the wall as well. He just dropped all the way back to 10th. The longer the run goes, the more and more cars we'll see hitting the wall because they get in such a rhythm and they're following the car in front of them, and then all of a sudden that wall just bounces out right in front of them.
And also tire wear too. You know, who's up their tires more than the other driver. You know, the more you use them up, the harder it is.
Top 10 are it's basically pack racing, kind of like what we saw at Auto Club last week. But the leader, Connor O'Kresick, starting to pull away slightly more than second place driver Corey Carpenter. Got almost a half-second lead now between the two.
Not really a whole lot of action.
Yeah, right there. Oh, contact being made. That's in the back. Rafe Slate in the 12, Nick Johnson in the 28. And that wall is like glue. As soon as you touch it, you're like trapped with it. And we see some drivers turn as hard as they can to get out of the wall, and then they make contact with cars that are trying to avoid that. Saw it that last time by.
I was a little bit further back than Slate. I was watching back. There's not really a whole lot back there going on. Whoa! Hearts blinked out again.
And series director Pierce Matha will eventually have to. Caution's out. I was just gonna say he'll have to direct that to Ryan Hartz if the issue continues. But looks like we have our third caution on the racetrack, and
51 and Mark Patterson.
Mark Patterson, the 51, looking to be involved in this caution. We'll take a look at a one-to-go replay and show you exactly what occurred. Looks like, yep, that is Mark Patterson. There's Mark running on his own. See if it's just that car starting to wash up the track. Collect that wall. Oh, wow. That's what the fortunate that that happened right in front of the leaders. Wow. Fortunate that none of those guys were involved in this, but that's just another example of the wall just coming out and biting you. The car went up the track. It went up the track a little bit, but it didn't seem like that big of a deal. Then he hits the wall and it just careens him back in car. And this is there we go. This is the in car. This is from Justin Wilson. Third caution out here at Dover. It's like Justin Wilson came out as the leader. I don't think he pitted.
No, he is actually coming down now.
Okay. So it looks like he stayed out. Did he lead a lap?
No, he did not.
Depending on where his pit box is, I don't think he'll lead a lap. No, he won't. So he might have just missed his pit box there, just decided to pit after everyone else pitted so he can work his way from the back to the front, stay out of harm's way.
Harm's way could be, pretty much anywhere on the track.
Absolutely. And through that pit stop, we saw the 30 of Corey Carpenter go to the lead. So Corey Carpenter comes out in front of the 14 of Connor O'Kresick, and this is going to spice some things up on the restart. Because we have seen that inside lane just become such an advantage if you're the leader. You can go whenever you want. Seeing it, we'll be seeing it in just another lap, what that 30 of Corey Carpenter can do.
I don't know if I asked you this or not, Hunter, but does the leader get lane choice, or do they have to do what iRacing tells them to do?
Nope, they get lane choice.
They do get lane choice.
So he can restart from the top or the bottom.
I know it's different for different leagues such, so I didn't know for this.
A couple cars in front of the leaders that will be taking the wave around. Looks like that's the 4 of Daniel Miglin. And I think is that the 34 of Robinson? I thought he had disconnected. No, he's back out. The 34 of Robinson back out, getting a lap back. He's 29 laps down.
29 caution.
Yeah, 29 cautions, and he'll be back on the lead lap in no time.
Just hope we don't have 29 cautions.
Going back green. Corey Carpenter on the inside, Connor O'Kresick on the outside. It'll be interesting to see how that 30 car launches, because we've only seen Connor O'Kresick down on the bottom being the control car. Here we go, pace car back down pit road, switching of the positions between the 30 of Carpenter and the 14 of O'Kresick. Carpenter jumps a little bit earlier than what O'Kresick has been doing, but back underway, and that's going to allow Nate Trito to move up to second. He got a good jump right behind that 30 car as well.
Yes,
so O'Kresick going to fall back to third. And you got side by side for fourth between Cameron Hearn on the outside, Alan Balancino down low. Going to be tight here when they come off turn 4. Cameron Hearn, he gets into the wall. Keeps it out. He might have kissed the wall. But without...
A little bit of a love tap.
Seen a good bit of love taps made between the wall. Oh, we got a spin in the back. Car spinning in the back to the inside wall, coming out of turn 2.
Oh.
Don't see the caution just yet, but as soon as I say that, now you see the caution out. So the 4th caution comes out from the Monster Mile.
I want to say the number 21 of Delonta Ballard was involved in.
See here from our 1 to go replay. There's Delonte down low. Looks like, he just got, car got loose in front of him, hit the wall simultaneously. Don't think anyone else got involved. Don't think anyone else got involved. It was close, but that was enough to trigger a caution. So that's our 4th yellow of the night. There's the 45 of Chris Seinfeld. Let's see what happened in front of him. He was in the back. Yeah, there was a wreck in front of him, and he got collected in that. I believe that was Adam Capps in the 55 going for a spin. And then Chris giving him a tap. And that was indeed the 55 of Adam Capps. Looked like he had some help going around. No. I don't think he did. No, he just...
it looks like
wiggled.
He just lost it.
Yeah, he wiggled right there and just couldn't save it. So it was behind the initial replay of Delonte Ballard getting into the wall and another car in front of him doing the same thing. So caution number 4 out here at Dover. Coverage of tonight's race is brought to you by Elite Entertainment. We'd like to thank Elite Entertainment for their support of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series this season in area. Be sure to check out Elite Entertainment on Facebook and book them to DJ your next event. Well, not a good time to be Elite Entertainment, as Adam Capps was just involved in that most recent caution. James Shane Wolf currently running. Oh, he was up there. Back in 33rd. And we got a couple more drivers. Ed Robertson was involved in an early caution as well. He's currently 40th, but Cameron Hearn is running in 5th. Man, it just seems like Cameron Hearn is always there.
Yup. Nichols Johnston Hunter up 15th, 6th. He's on the outside of the top 5.
Say Nicholas Johnston? Who? Your mic kind of cut out a little bit there.
Yeah, Nicholas Johnston, the number 28.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with him.
A lot of unknowns here from Dover.
Let me try to turn the gate down a little bit. Maybe you can hear me, and maybe it won't cut out so much.
I think we'll have any takers this time down pit row. We do see Cameron Hearn just running the apron there. These guys are already double file. They want to go back racing already.
Go back racing before the green flag even drops.
And there we go. The lights are out on top of the pace car. So it seemed like the first 4 rows knew what they were doing. Just, okay, we already know the drill. Let's just get back into it now. It looks like Ryan Hartz has disconnected for the night. Seemed like issues were plaguing that number 3 car from the internet standpoint. So Shane Williamson and Ryan Hart's are the only 2 drivers who have disconnected from tonight's race. Matthew Robinson is back out there, 29 laps down. Ed Robertson, 16 laps down. Daniel Maitland, 14 laps down. Mark Patterson still 8 down, and Adam Capps currently 2 laps down. Other than that, 35 cars are still on the lead lap. And at the front of those 35 cars is Corey Carpenter on the inside and Nate Trito making his return to area on the outside. So the number 30 car is the control car for this restart on the bottom. Got 118 laps to go here for the Monster Mile.
Oh, plenty of racing to go, Hunter.
Absolutely. We just crossed 25% of the race done. Single file for the first 3 spots. Then once again, Alan Balancino on the outside, Cameron Hearn on the inside for that 4th spot. Balancino running up high. Early getting into the wall there. Hearn going to have the inside lane down into turn 1. Balancino not giving up, though, but they're battling behind him as well. Hey, look, it's the 91 of Jake Nichols. He opted not to qualify, and he slowly worked his way into the top 10. Here he is, just passing the 7 of James Scioli for that 7th spot.
Watching back here at around 25th, Brad Slaughter. Whoa, here we go. We're wrecking the number 5.
Yep, that's Garrett Grant in the 5, and they're wrecking in front of him too. Oh, and they're wrecking even more.
Big one.
Yeah, it looks like that was Chris Seinfeld there. That might have gone clipped by the 5, or that could have been Ed Robertson, but they were wrecking just in front of him. But we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at exactly what brought out this caution, because we just cut to the 5 spinning down the backstretch. Looked like that's Brad Slaughter there in the 88. Might have had help. That's the 81 of Dwayne Culberson just to his outside. Oh, it was a mixture of both. So he gets in the Dwayne in the 81 there, and then Brad gets into him. Another great use of telestration there from Harold. Just that contact right there between the 81 and the 5. It doesn't send the 81 sideways. It sends the 5 sideways. So right here from turn 2, they were looking side by side. Just that slight contact there. Oh, he was hit like a pinball.
Yeah, he was a pinball, man. And they continued to wreck.
I'll say it looked like that was Justin Wilson that was spinning like a top just in front of him. We'll take a look from it again. He just comes back right across the track in the turn 3 and collected a few more drivers.
I believe it was.
Yep. Boy, he just gets hit from that 5 car right there, and down low, just that clip in that apron too. Spinning back. Wow, he actually went on his side there, that 58 car. He went on his side again.
He went on his side twice.
Twice in the same wreck.
Oh.
So another big crash here at the Monster Mile. Bringing out another cautioner. I believe that's our 5th one of the night. Here on lap number 47.
So it is the 5th one. Well,
fastest lap of the race for that number 67, 23.141. I believe we will see that go just a bit faster, whether it's from Cameron or from someone else in the field.
Well, I hate to say it, Hunter, but both of our drivers are out of contention here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Harold is the only one left with a driver still in the race. And that is Jake Nichols in the 91. He did pick him. Said to keep an eye on him, and he's up inside the top 10, running in 7th. Somehow avoiding the mayhem is that 91 and the 30 of Carpenter. Corey Carpenter got the lead from pit stops the last time these leaders came down and beat out the 14 of Connor Okresic, who has since fallen to 3rd after the number 9 of Nate Trinos moved into 2nd from a good jump on the restart. Lights are out on the pace car, and we'll be going green next time by.
I believe Corey is still our leader, correct? Yeah, number 30.
He is still the leader. Looks like that 9 car of Nate Trito's got Solar Flare Racing on it. So it's a affiliated race car there, that number 9. Nate Trito making his return once again to Area iRacing and the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. Rio, pace car down pit road once again. Corey Carpenter on the bottom with Trito on the outside, and we're back green once again here from the Monster Mile.
The way they
Side
get
by
those...
side racing. Yep. I was going to say they were side by side in the back for P6 Nick Johnston and Jake Nichols side by side as the 30th Carpenter continues to lead.
Uh-oh, 00. Uh-oh, we're wrecking.
Looks like another crash has broken out at the Monster Mile, and the caution is back out once again.
The number 22, Dominic DeLeo.
Here's a 1-to-go replay of this incident from the drone cam. An interesting camera angle following this pursuit. You see the 21 of Dominic DeLeo there, the 1 of Ryan Swan right behind him, and happens in front of DeLeo. And DeLeo gets up in the air and on his side. Boy, oh boy, we're seeing a lot of havoc here from the Monster Mile. I mean, he is he is hungry. I was say I didn't know if it was with the lap car here. This is Adam Capps in the 55. I was gonna comment that was him on the apron, but I didn't. I didn't comment on it at all. And he was running the apron. Did he get into the inside wall?
I don't know. I know the 00 was right.
Oh no, they were.
Oh.
No, he didn't get into the wall at all. They were wrecking already behind him, and then it continued in front of him. Oh boy, that's gotta be a view for Ryan Swan there in the one, seeing the underneath of the 22. Mentioned that is the 00 of Will Davis. So he's just underneath Eli Green. He just gets loose there, and Dom DeLeo, just a poor passenger that's getting sent on his side twice in the same wreck. So twice in a row, we've seen two cars get up on its side in the same wreck. See if we get an inside view from that one of Ryan Swan. He got a good view of that that 22 car, the underneath of it. We go, the in-car cam from Ryan's perspective.
Whoa.
He saw it twice. So obviously a lot of damage to the 22 of DeLeo and to the one of Ryan Swan. Shocked he hasn't come down pit road yet. We did see Cameron Hearn come down pit road, so the number 67 has made a pit stop.
Yeah, this is only Cameron's second stop as well.
Connor O'Kreza getting a little playful there. That's intriguing. Haven't seen that one before. He's not the leader. He's third, so I'm not sure what was going on there. Might have just been having a little fun, but nonetheless, he gets back in line in third. Boy, we have a trio of drivers that have just disconnected from the server, that being Chris Seinfeld, Matt Alverson, and Justin Wilson. James Shane Wolf 7 laps down, Mark Patterson 6 laps down, Dom DeLeo is in his pits going 3 laps down now. Ethan Kurtz, I believe, is still on the... Nope, he's 1 lap down.
Dom DeLeo, Hunter, is actually in chat here. Yes, I do have chat pulled up here on Twitch.
Oh, yep, he just typed RIP.
Man, Dover, it's one of those tracks, man. You get a big field like this, and man, they self-cleaning basically.
Absolutely. Boy, we are seeing what Miles the Monster is bringing for us. I mean, he has quite an appetite for race cars, and I don't think we're done seeing this yet. So we'll have a restart once more here with Carpenter on the inside, Trito on the outside. Carpenter is the control car. It'll be interesting to see if the 14 of O'Kreza can get a good jump, because that's how the 9 of Trito got into second. He had a good jump right behind the race leader, and that's what allowed him to pass O'Kreza. Go pace car down the pit lane once again. Oh, and a little stack-up effect there that time. A little late on the launch from Corey Carpenter, but nonetheless, he goes into turn 1 with the lead. Now a battle for third between Alan Balancino on the outside, trying to get in front of that 14 of O'Kreza, with Jake Nichols and Nick Johnson side by side right behind him. O'Krezik's going to get in line right behind the 91. Battle for fifth continues as they work their way through turn 4.
Side line back here at around when that on that restart around Jordan Martin in the 11, they just didn't go. Yeah,
it was a little bit towards the back. There was a stack-up effect. There's the 11 of Jordan Martin settling back in line. That's David Weishart right behind him, trying to get underneath of him. They're battling for the 14th position. Meanwhile, battle for third, trying to heat up. The battle for fifth still heating up. Now Jake Nichols finally gets in front of Nick Johnson. He loses a tire. He's into the wall.
Oh.
Johnston into the wall. Boy, that was abrupt. Caution's going to come out for that.
We seen that one. He just went right up into the outside wall.
Boy, that very fortunate there for Jake Nichols, because he just completed the pass on Nick Johnson. If they were still side by side, it would have wiped him out. Car just hangs a right.
Yeah, it just went to the right.
And it's just parked there on the outside. It looks like everyone did a good job of avoiding him. Boy, that is something else. From the in-car view of Nick Johnston. Like he's got control of that car. He's going to bring it down to pit road. There's a head scratcher there, if anything.
That was strange.
Absolutely, and we've got 100 laps left. Who knows what Miles is going to throw at us next?
Halfway.
Close to halfway.
Close to halfway, yeah.
Yeah, 20 laps. 20 laps from the halfway point of tonight's race, the Monster Mile 160. We've completed 60 miles here, or we'll complete 60 once we cross the stripe. Then we'll have 100 more miles to go at bare minimum, because we could have a green-white checker. In an area we only have one green-white checker, and if a caution comes out before they take the white flag, that's the end of the race. But if they cross the stripe before the caution comes out, so they take the white flag, then the race is official. Boy, you see the crowd here and just the amount of pit boxes here. It's kind of tight here on pit road.
Pit road ain't easy here either. You know, green flag racing at Dover, and you know, you're coming down under green. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It's very tight as well. It's one of the tightest pit boxes that we go to, or pit lanes that we go to. And it's so unique because it starts kind of in turn 4, because it loops around the track. It's straight for the most part, but those few that are in turn 4, they're in quite a peculiar position there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it looks like Nicholas Johnston has disconnected. So Nick Johnson, the 28, has called it a night. Boy, something missed there. He was running inside the top 10 for a good portion of the race. Once again, that's very fortunate for Jake Nichols to complete the pass there, because they were battling for quite a while, even before the caution before then came out. They were side by side, and then they continued after the restart. He had just completed the pass before they got into turn 3, and that car just made a hard right. It was on from there. So it looks like we'll be going green next time by. Once again, Dominic DeLeo, he's still in the race.
Yeah.
He bumps back in the chat, but I mean, he's still in the race. He was the free pass car that last time. So a couple more yellows, and that 22 car will be back on the lead lap, but he's currently running 30th. He will be 29th after he passes Johnston's car.
He just went into 29.
Yep. Johnston is one of 5 drivers out from the race. Actually, 6, excuse me. Seinfeld is out. Alverson, Justin Wilson, Ryan Arts, and Shane Williamson all out of the race. here we go. Down into turn 4, Carpenter on the inside, Trito on the outside. Carpenter is the control car. That pace car pulls down into pit road once more. We'll see the green flag fly once again here from the Monster Mile. Ooh, that was close. Okresic came down and shut the door on Jake Nichols. It looked like he had a run there to the inside. He's side by side with Balancino for the 4th spot. They worked their way down into turn 3. Jake Nichols taking over the 4th spot. Balancino falling back to 6th with Rafe Slate picking up in 5th position.
Watching traffic passing back here with the 49 of Perkins, the 11 of Jordan Martin, 15th and 16th respectively. Side by side going on back here, kind of mid-pack.
They're side by side in the back of this top 10 order. James Scioli with Ryan Swan and Eli Green. Actually, Ryan Swan is just behind this, but Eli Green is side by side. Ryan Swan did not pit after sending the 22 on his side. Of damage must not have been that big of a deal. And now we see Connor Okresic move past Nate Trito for the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, they continue to battle it out for 5th between Rafe Slate, Alan Balancino. Now Scioli looking to the outside. Not going to go anywhere. Eli Green right below him. He got a little loose, so he's going to settle back in line. Oh, contact made between Scioli and Slate. So Slate going to lose 1 spot, maybe 2. They're working their way through the number 12. Ryan Swan now looking to the inside. Something might be amiss there with the 12 of Rafe Slate. Oh, Ryan got a little low there with his turn 3 entry. They're going to be side by side coming off turn 4.
Tell Ryan to stay off the apron.
I was going to say that car was looking a little loose there. Might have clipped that apron. And we've seen that cause a couple of cars to spin out during tonight's event. There's Randy Beckville in the 36 with Cameron Hearn right behind. Cameron pitted underneath that most recent caution as the car in front of him is into the wall. Up front, it is still Corey Carpenter leading over Connor Okresic. Nate Trito running in 3rd. Jake Nichols 4th. Balancino holds the 5th spot for the moment. So they're becoming a little more spread out now.
Just noticed here the 77 of Jacob Bell started 32nd. He's running just outside of the top 15 here, 17th, right behind Jay Perkins.
Yeah, last week at Auto Club, he was one of 4 drivers to not qualify. Ended up getting a nice 6th place finish. Still a close battle here for the lead. Connor Okresic not letting Corey Carpenter go anywhere. It's a 2-car length lead for that number 30. Boy, Ryan Swan has lost a few spots. He was running in at 8th at one point. Now he's back in 13th.
Oh, no, we still got a way to go.
Yeah, still a decent bit to go.
Now, if this stays green, Hunter, can they go to the end on fuel, or will they have to come down?
Some of these guys are at 40 laps, and the fuel run is around 90. We have had a good bit of yellows, but I don't think they can save enough fuel. No, so these guys will have to come back down pit road. Well, Cameron Hearn, let me see, because he pitted under that most recent caution. Now, he still have to come down, too.
Yeah. He's only been out here 21 laps, but still, yeah, tires are... I don't think the tires are going to hold up.
Tires are a driver's best friend because when they come down pit road and put on those 4 fresh Goodyears, they are, it's heaven. Back here, there's Brian Dixon in the 03. He missed last week's race, but he is currently holding his own in the 26th position.
Whoa!
Oh, a big wreck up here. It's Cameron Hearn in the 67. Caution's going to come out. Just about to say, Cameron Hearn was working his way through the field and almost inside the top 10. We'll take a look at our want-to-go replay and look at what caused that 67 to spin around, and it looks like might have collected Rafe Slate.
Yeah, I think Rafe Slate, number 12, was, I think that's where it might have started. I'm not sure, but
coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, like he got loose, it looks like.
Oh, man. And boy, the hits just keep on coming.
Looking to go replay here. I can't. It looks like he just got loose.
He might have hit the wall.
Oh, that too.
He got loose trying to keep it out of the wall.
Oh, that's what happened.
Looks like a 3-car incident between Rafe Slate, Cameron Hearn as well. I think Delonte Ballard was in that one too. That was the 3rd car.
Oh. It looks like Rafe Slate has already taken his car behind the wall. He wasted no time.
Yeah, he had a massive hit there on the inside wall and on the front stretch, so no surprise there. It's another car that has been claimed by Miles the Monster. We have a good bit of drivers here that are coming down pit road, and once again, Dom DeLeo is the lucky dog, so he is now going to be 1 lap down when they go back green flag racing.
As long as he stays out of the cautions and he can stay fairly clean, hey, number 22, I'd watch him.
He's been on his side twice, but he's looking to get back into the race.
Oh, man. Well, Dover bend over.
Yeah, we're looking to get the one to go this time by. Nope. Well, we're right around the halfway break, so let's go ahead and take a look at our drivers inside the top 10 presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor Swift Lifestyles for clean supplements that can help improve your focus and gaming. Use the discount code on your screen, AREA iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off your entire order. We would like to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles for their continuous support of AREA iRacing. So your leader is Nate Trito. We had some drivers make pit stops. Nate Trito was one of those that stayed out. So he currently finds himself as the leader, but he's been inside the top 5 for a good portion of tonight's event. And the driver right behind him, Jake Nichols, he didn't even qualify. He started from deep in the field. He's worked his way inside the top 10 and now finds himself in 2nd place. So the 91 looking to finish 1 spot better than what he's currently in right now. Eli Green, he's been near some cautions, near some chaos around him, but he is currently running in the 3rd spot, staying out, as well as Alan Balancino, who's missing the front of his car. The front of the car is missing on that number 70, but it's still fast. He finds himself 4th in that number 70 for Fasikas Motorsports. And then you got to go to Brad Sauer there with the new paint scheme there, the green 88 on the bottom. Shout out to Brad's grandfather. He's running 5th at the moment, so good job there from the number 88. Then you got to go to Ethan Kurtz in the 98. Keep banging. That's what he's doing. He's banging them out one by one. He's also missing the front end of his car too, and he finds himself in the 6th position. Garrett Heath has been involved in some cautions as well, finding himself in the 7th spot. So is Will Davis. Boy, a lot of these guys are staying out, have been involved in some cautions. Brian Dixon, that car looks clean. I don't think he's been involved in anything tonight. And the top 9 have stayed out, so that leads us to Corey Carpenter, who's led a good portion of tonight's event. He's led the most laps up to this point, finds himself 10th after pitting. So the top 9 have stayed out on the racetrack with the 9 of Nate Trito in the 1 spot. As about as even of a restart as we'll see. We see cars working their way out of line, trying to work their way around the other cars surrounding them. Trito's going to hold on to the lead. Jake Nichols in 2nd. Balancino and Eli Green side by side for 3rd. Balancino on the outside. Green on the inside. Going to be tight, working their way off of turn 4. Green going to shut the door. Here comes Slaughter down low for 4th.
These guys with pressure tires definitely going to eat up the guys that did not pit.
You got to look at Corey Carpenter because he is the first one. He is the highest of those that pitted.
And here he comes, up to 6th.
Oh, but up front, battle for the lead. Jake Nichols looking down low. He's going to take that spot away from Nate Trito. So put the 91 of Jake Nichols to the lead here at Dover. As you mentioned, Corey Carpenter has worked his way now inside the top 5. We focus on Garrett Heath right now. Gotta go a little back for some side-by-side action towards the back part of this field. There's a 79 of Tyler Nichols. That's the brother of Jake. Oh, and he makes contact there. An infinite car. Got near the wall. There is Jordan Martin in the 11.
Uh-oh.
We got a spin in front of them. A massive wreck in turn number 4. Boy, they are still spinning and crashing all over the place. The caution's going to come out once again from the Monster Mile.
Ethan Kurt. That's the car that I seen spinning.
Ethan Kurtz is the car to look out for. They were running just outside the top 10. Kurtz was running in the 11th at the time, and we see the one of Ryan Swan right behind. Make contact. Oh, yep, there is definitely contact made there. Oh, he kind of kept it straight. It was just the chaos that ensued behind him. So this is going to be interesting here because Swan gets into him, but Kurtz keeps it straight. But back here is where they wreck. I don't know. This has to be a reaction from the spin that they see in front of them.
49 got loose, and then, yeah. Oh.
Just massive hits all the way around.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, like I said, Ethan is the car that I seen spinning, so that's the car that I clicked on, and you know, everything happened so fast. It's insane.
Jay Perkins in car cam. So another caution here from the Monster Mile. We're past the halfway point. Jake Nichols is currently your leader. It looks like we've had some more drivers come down pit road. Nate Trito, one of them. Corey Carpenter staying out. He's moved up to second. Brad Slaughter in third. James Connolly fourth, with Connor Okresic rounding out the top five. Guess who's back on the lead lap?
Let me guess, Dominic DeLeo.
Yep, that 22 car back on the lead lap, and he's in the 19th position.
Yeah, he's coming down pit road here from what I'm looking.
Slowly come in and get those fresh tires while you can.
Just looking at it here, now the guys that did come down pit road, it'll put them at about 72 laps. Now, fuel-wise, they'll be able to make it. However, tire-wise, probably not so much.
So it looks like we'll begin the one to go this time by. A number of drivers still on pit road there. Cameron Hearn has yet to go a lap down. And he was involved in the second most recent caution. So intriguing to see that 67 with the hit that he took still be on the lead lap. So it looks like the next car one lap down is Dwayne Culberson in the 27th position. So 26 cars on the lead lap as lights are out on the pace car. We'll be going back green this time by with Jake Nichols on the bottom. Corey Carpenter on the outside. 91 of Nichols will be the control car. It looks like he chose the bottom.
I think from now on, whoever Harold picks, I'm going to pick.
There'll be an interesting strategy to try out next Monday when we see the Elite Entertainment Cup Series traveling from Dover all the way to, oh, I just lost it, Kansas, going to the Midwest.
I would consider that a local track for myself, but we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yep, and indeed, as the pace car works his way down pit road. Boy, it's gotten dark at Dover. Looks like we got some cloud cover.
Where's the rain at?
Yeah, it is past halfway. We're back green. Track temp at 99 degrees, presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. 75 degrees currently. Partly cloudy now. We were bright sunny. Now we got partly cloudy skies, and you can tell that just from the difference in the color on the track as we're side by side for the lead. Carpenter going to send it down in on Jake Nichols. So the 30 of Corey Carpenter with the fresher tires moves himself into the lead.
Corey Carpenter.
James Scarley right behind.
Corey Carpenter sent it.
Sure did, and it sucked.
Oh my golly, we're gonna go three wide. Is this gonna turn out very well? Yeah, it did. Man, that 21, nice save of Delonta Ballard. Wow.
Some interesting moves being made. Oh, and a car up high near the wall. That's Connor Okresic in the 14. Gonna come back down. He'll get hit. David Weishart just got to the back of him as he was coming off the wall in turn 4. Boy, it is not looking good for that 14 machine.
I think he's gone.
I think he might have disconnected, yeah. There's a 67 of Cameron Hearn. He's going to come down pit road this time by. Boy, he is flying down that pit entrance. And flying is Corey Carpenter.
Road as well.
Oh, he did wreck. As I say, he was looking a little too fast. Just like that 7 of James Scully, looking for that second spot. He's going to take it from Jake Nichols. Yep, and that is the smoke from Cameron Hearn in pit road. A lot going down there.
Short track campers, maybe?
Yeah, it could be classified as a short track.
Or a speedway. Whichever. Whoa.
The first 4 cars are out by quite a bit. Got to go back to Ryan Swan running in the 5th spot. He set the 22 of Dom DeLeo on his side. He has yet to pit since making that contact with him. Dom DeLeo is back on the lead lap. Boy, this has been some race, and we're almost through the 100 lap point. We're a few laps shy of that. Corey Carpenter's got an open track in front of him. He's got over a half-second lead on James Scioli. If you picked Solar Flare in the chat to win the race, you're looking pretty good right now. Actually, you know what? No, I am looking at the wrong thing. My apologies, because Corey Carpenter is not a part of Solar Flare. Getting through, he is...
Moment here, folks. Hunter having a moment.
Yeah, I am indeed having a moment. He's an open car, so he's listed as non-team. So if you picked non-team, which I think there might have been at least one. It's rare, but we do have people that pick non-team. If you picked them, then Corey Carpenter is looking like your guy. And then you got to go back to second place with James Scioli, who's now 1 second back, as Carpenter's starting to log laps now. If you picked JBR, like I picked for Ryan Hartz, or Hartz is out. You still have the 7 of James Scioli. Actually, no, that's David Weishart Racing. But I am still having a moment. David Weishart Racing. If you picked DWR, you're also looking good. Then Solar Flare in 3rd for Jake Nichols. And you got to go to Brad Slaughter, who is an open car. So you got open cars running 1st and 4th, and then you got Ryan Swan for JBR running in 5th. I think my moment is over. The monster's starting to get to me now.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh, man.
This is the calmest we've seen the field yet. That's Randy Bechtel in the 36 car.
Looks like Cameron Hearn did take his car behind the wall.
Yeah, from the way he entered pit road, it looked like that wasn't going to be good.
Battle back here, but with the 00 and the 84, Will Davis and that was for Smith.
Smith. Yep.
Yeah. And the 02 of Eli Green, might as well throw him in the mix here too, because he's right there.
Boy, Will Davis was involved in a caution too, and he's still a few spots outside the top 10. I mean, doesn't matter what kind of damage you have on your car, you can still be competitive. Alan back here, we're going to cycle back through. One of the infinite cars there. That is indeed the battle that we're looking at. Garrett Heath. So really the battle for 12th. There's Dom DeLeo on the bottom there, the lap car. Brian Dixon right behind as well. Corey Carpenter is just he's outrunning Scioli by a handful. And the one of Ryan Hartz has actually lost 5th place to the 33 of David Weishart, who now moves up inside the top 5.
Corey Carpenter is about 2.2 seconds ahead of James Scioli.
When Carpenter wiggling a little bit there, getting around the lap car of Daniel Miglin there in the 4. But yeah, that 30 car is just showing the speed that he has. He has Scioli pitted on the same lap too, so I mean, there's just a lot of speed underneath that 30. I mean, there's still a lot of speed under the 7, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't know what that 30 car has because he is gone.
Yeah, might want to take that number 30 and put him behind the wall after the race here. If he wins, check that car out, make sure there's no NOS underneath it because yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, we don't have a post-race inspection of any kind. No fog, no nothing. So the real winner is the real winner. Frito now up to P6. Ryan Swan actually down to 8th as Balancino gets around him for the 7th spot. It looks like we have a close battle there for 5th. Trito and Weishart. The gap has closed quite a bit between those two. That's Weishart and Slaughter. My apologies. There's Trito in the back. Got one car right. I'm still having my moment.
Yeah, still having your moment.
And they're working on lap traffic here going into turn 3. Once again, this is the battle for 4th. Brad Slaughter in 4th. David Weishart in 5th. Then back here, we got Eli Green and Ryan Swan. Boy, Ryan Swan continuing to fall through the field. Just in front of those guys, that's Paul Irvin. Very similar paint schemes. You know, it's odd that we see a pink paint scheme. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just odd. And we got 3 cars in the picture right here with pink in their scheme. Paul Irvin in front, Eli Green there second, and then the one fading is Ryan Swan. Got some pink on that paint scheme, which, by the way, pretty neat paint scheme. Just like this battle, pretty neat. 2 cars going at it, one on the bottom, one on the top. That is Weishart taking 4th from Brad Slaughter.
By the time I catch up to it, you've already got it.
The gap has stayed at 2 seconds now between James Scioli and Corey Carpenter. Wonder if lap traffic is playing a little bit of a factor in that, as we have some lap traffic working their way off of pit exit.
Yeah, and I was gonna say lap traffic here at Dover is an issue in a sense because it is only a mile long. So.
No, very true, but it looks like it's closed in that battle for second now. Jake Nichols closing in on the 7 of Scioli. Scioli passed him early in that restart and kind of got away from him, but now the 91 is starting to reel him back in. Just a few car lengths back now, and it looks like that lap traffic might have played a factor. That was Matthew Robinson. Boy, Matthew Robinson is looking to finish closer and closer inside the top 30 with all of our retirees.
I'm sitting right here in 33rd, here in about, this lap, he will pass up. Well, I don't know. Can he get around Jay Perkins? Jay is coming back out on track.
There's the pass for second. Jake Nichols on the bottom completes it on James Scioli. Now the 91 will have his eyes set on race leader Corey Carpenter, just continuing to log laps away. Now, last time by, Jake Nichols was quicker than Corey Carpenter. Jake with a 23.9. Corey Carpenter with a 24.03, excuse me. Here's Jordan Martin in the 11. Running in the 8th spot with Eli Green and Will Davis right behind. And Paul Irvin just popping up in and out of nowhere.
Paul doing Paul things.
And up in front of these guys, Alan Balancino missing the front of his car, running in the 7th spot.
Hey, I wouldn't count out the guys with no front.
Yeah, that might make their car faster. They're working their way through the lapped car there of Dwayne Culberson. 28 laps down. But a decent little pack forming here from 7th to 11th. There's Jake Nichols slowly starting to wind the 30 of Carpenter back down. Still 2-second gap between first and second. Carpenter continuing to work his way through lap traffic as well. Less than 40 to go here from the Monster Mile with coverage of tonight's Monster Mile 160 presented by CNC Logging. We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in the area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. God would, big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log, guaranteed. That is the CNC Logging way. And you can catch tomorrow night's CNC Logging Truck Series action from the Monster Mile with a full field of trucks. That's always a good racing there. Always good excitement. Regardless of what track these trucks go to, but you put them on a mile concrete oval like Dover, you'll be in for a treat tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. 8:40 Eastern on the Area iRacing Twitch channel. You can follow us on Twitter at Area iRacing for any updates. And check out our website at areairacing.com and areairacing.store. Or .shop, excuse me. I'm still having my moment. areairacing.shop. You can pick up your favorite drivers' latest merch, whether that be Eli Green, Forrest Smith, Cameron Hearn, David Weishart, or the commentators' collection of the Louisiana Dive Bomb. It's all there on areairacing.shop. Closing in now on 30 laps to go. Corey Carpenter still leading. Jake Nichols still closing the gap bit by bit. James Scott Hawley running in third. Weishart fourth, and Brad Slaughter rounding out the top 5. Then you got a close battle behind 6th place, Nate Trito. Alan Balancino running in 7th. Jordan Martin 8th. Will Davis 9th. Paul Irvin 10th. And falling out of that top 10 was Eli Green. Eli falling back to 16th.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened to Eli. He's got damage. I wonder if the damage is affecting him some.
Ooh. There's some of the lap cars in the wall. Now, Jake Nichols is making up on time to Corey Carpenter, but he is approaching 96 laps on his set of tires. 96 laps.
Yeah,
the fuel run was 88 to 92 laps. He is over that fuel run, so it seems like it's a matter of time before that 91 car comes down pit lane.
Yeah, I don't think he can make it.
No, if he does, he's the new master of fuel saving. I mean, you have to. If you go more than 30 or 40 laps past the scheduled distance of fuel, then you're the new wizard.
Might as well just give up at that point. Just say, all right, well, Jake's going to save fuel every race. Just, throw in the towel and be done with it.
Looking through here, the top 6 have stayed the same. Well, really top 7. Will Davis now up to 8th. Jordan Martin down to 9th. Paul Irvin still running 10th. Randy Bechtel now moves up to 11th with Garrett Heath, Forrest Smith, Brian Swan, Tyler Nichols, Eli Green, Gary Lewis, Michael Arch, and Delonte Ballard all remaining on the lead lap. So 19 cars on the lead lap. Dominic DeLeo once again back a lap down, but he's in the lucky dog position. So if a yellow were to come out, he would obtain that free pass. And right on cue. Right on cue. So the caution comes out again. There's a spin down the backstretch, but more importantly, I am a wizard of my own powers. Dom DeLeo is going to be back on the lead lap. See what happened here. It looks like it's an infinite gaming machine.
Was it? Oh, it was David Weishart, 33.
So we're seeing here, there is the 33 of Weishart. Oh no, it happened right behind him. The lap car got in the wall. Not really seeing the caution come out.
You'll see it here.
Looking up front, that 33 is just behind that group there in turn 4. So we see Weishart approaching. Did he clip that apron? No. Oh, he got loose and he spun the car around. Did not clip the apron at all. A quick 360. Some minor scrapes with the wall, but that was a perfect timing for a caution going through the field. So Dom DeLeo on the lead lap, and drivers are making pit stops, and that's going to help the 91 of Jake Nichols, because he was going, I believe it was 100 laps. It might have been 100 laps exactly on that 91 car.
A lot of laps.
Oh, absolutely, a lot of laps. Valancino, our leader, comes down pit road with Will Davis. Corey Carpenter going to stay out. I believe he pitted along with Scioli. So Nichols going to fall back a spot.
Actually, Corey and them had already pitted. They're only on, this will be their first lap, so they came down the last time while we were doing the replay.
Yeah, they all pitted, but I didn't know if the 30 had stayed out before their other leaders came down. But nonetheless, looks like these guys are putting on their final sets of Goodyear Eagles. And I'll slot the 30 into the lead, the 7 of Scioli in second, the 91 of Nichols in third, Nate Trito up to fourth, and how about this? Paul Irvin inside the top 5.
Wow. Started 33rd.
Yep, he was one of many drivers, including Jake Nichols, that opted to not qualify and to work their way from the back to the front, and that's exactly what these guys have done. They've worked their way from the back, and they're inside the top 5 in the closing stages of the Monster Mile 160. And remember a handful of laps or so ago when I said at this rate Matthew Robinson will be inching closer to a top 30 position? Well,
right there,
he's running 30th, right there on the bottom of your picture. P30 for Matthew Robinson. I mean, he was involved in a very, very early caution. His car got up in the air, but he pulled through. He toughened it up, fixed the damage. Although he is multiple laps down, every point matters. And quite literally, at one point, he was running dead last in the race, and now he's up to 30th. So that is a sign to never give up and that every point matters. Just like we'll see here on this restart, every position matters. You want to be the leader? Just like Corey Carpenter. He's going to be the leader here, the control car on the bottom. James Scioli on the outside. See that pace car come down pit road. And here we go. They come through the restart zone, and there's the jump from the 30. And we're back racing from Dover.
Watch the back of the field here, just in case.
Got word to stop talking about Paul Irvin, commentator's curse. So, oh, we got a wreck in the back. It's Eli Green spinning around on the front stretch. Caution's going to come out once again. Yeah, that happened right as they were coming out of turn 4. They got up in the wall, and it just ensued a massive accident as the track was just filled with smoke going down the front stretch. And we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay to look at exactly what caused that 0-2 to go sideways. There's Eli on the bottom. Looks like that's Ryan Swan in the 1.
Looks like there was some contact.
Oh, and he comes up.
Yeah.
Comes up on the 1, and then all chaos ensues behind, and there is another car in the air. Don't believe they flipped, but they were close to going over that pit wall.
That was the 21 of, I believe, Delonta Ballard that almost went over the pit wall.
Take another look here. He got on his side. The monster continues to tease a car going upside down. How many times have we seen a car on their side tonight?
Let's see here. I know with 2 cars it was twice in 1 wreck. So, and then now this one. So 3.
I feel like it's been more than that, but I'm not sure. Sir, sure. Boy, I'm still having my moment. We've had 11 cautions here for 43 laps. Corey Carpenter can confirm he has led the most laps, but will he lead the last one? That is the most important one. And like I said earlier, that fast lap from Cameron Earn, gone. James Scully, 23.054, the new fastest lap. Can we see it go down to the 22-second mark?
Maybe with some NOS. Put some jet fuel in them, see what happens.
Don't do that with Michael Waltrip. Michael Waltrip knows what happens.
Why do you think I bring it up?
Oh man, that's good stuff. It looks like that's Gary Lewis there saying, "No idea how I made it through that."
I was wondering who that was.
Lights are still on top of the pace car, still on. So we will be going another lap before we get our 1 to go. Boy, this has been quite a race. I mean, we've had it all. We've had a decent run of green flag racing. We've also had a decent bit of cautions.
Well, it's Dover. It's, either you could speedway or short track, whichever, you want to look at it. I look at it as a self-cleaning track because, well, unfortunately, that's kind of what it's been.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly does it. Would you say self-cleaning or self-eating? Because Miles the Monster, he is always hungry for some race cars, and he is showing his appetite tonight.
You can look at it either way, I guess.
Looking through here, we're going to get the 1 to go this time by. Eli Green has disconnected after being involved in that most recent caution. We will park it behind the wall. Now, it looks like he will finish no worse than 26th. That number 02. We'll get through 20 cars on the lead lap. The first of which, being a lap down, is Drew Trader in the number 25. He's 21st. So if another caution comes out, he will be back on the lead lap. So coming to the restart this time, Corey Carpenter once again, the control car on the bottom. Jake Nichols on the outside with James Scioli running in third and Nate Trito in fourth. Some solar flare combinations between the 91 and the 9. You add those two, that's 100. If you put a dot in between the 100, that's 1. And that is the spot that's the spot that Corey Carpenter is in right now. He's in that number 1 spot. They come through the restart zone, and he gets the launch. And we're back green once again from Dover, Delaware.
Gonna place it at 17 to go. Oh man.
Yep. Oh, that's Trito in the wall. Trito in the wall after they were side by side, and he is falling like a rock.
He disconnected.
Oh, he immediately disconnected. Scioli got loose there, and the caution's back out. Boy, you mentioned it. The later we go, the more intense the racing gets, and wow, that is crazy. Well, we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at exactly what brought out the caution this time. That is the number 26 car. There's smoke. Yep, it happened right here. Oh my goodness, there's our flip.
Oh.
There is our flip. It was none other than the Jacob Bell going upside down in that number 77. Boy, this had to be a rough ride. It looked like there was some contact that happened in front of him, but nonetheless, Miles finally claims its first race car upside down, and it's the 77 of Jacob Bell. Oh my goodness. We are on the gyro cam for this one, but
how many times did he flip? I'm gonna go back and count it.
I was say he flipped a good bit. That 77 is toast. What happened in front, because these guys were all moving down. Oh, and there was a tap from behind right there. Oh my goodness, that was the 4 of Miglin getting the tap. Not sure why he was going. He might have been coming down pit road.
What you did not hear was Jacob's car was hurting. It almost hurt. Sounded like the engine expired, and then you watch him turn right here. No, he got touched as well, but he was hurt. The car was hurt.
Car's even more hurt now. I was gonna say it was weird because it looked like there was from the in-car cam. It looked like there was a wreck happening in front of him, and he was going low to avoid it. But at the same time, it almost seemed like he was making his way down pit road, and then just got caught up in a accident, not of his own doing. But a tough way to end the night for the 77 of Jacob Bell. And after a long wait, we finally get a car to go upside down, and it was a spectacular crash over in turn 3.
I think it was spectacular to Jacob, though.
No, we believe he's down in the infield care center getting some treatment done.
Can you count how many flips he did?
Wouldn't be surprised if he has a concussion from that, because that was a nasty wreck. And especially with it seemed like the car was dying on him. Slower car getting collected in a fast-paced accident. Did not seem like it was going to work out that well for the Jacob Bell machine.
He flipped 8 times.
But in the midst of all that, Nate Trito was running 4th, trying to get 3rd from James Scioli. He hit the wall, and he immediately disconnected from that.
Yeah, and Alt F4 maybe.
That's most likely what happened. Either Either it was just rage from his part, which that could very well be the case, or he was just not trying to bring out a caution, and then instead of staying in the way and collecting other cars, he just disconnected, got out of everyone's way, and I mean he kept the green for quite a bit because it seemed like if he was going to come off that wall, because that car was sideways, so if he just stayed in the lobby, it seemed like it was going to create a big wreck, but nonetheless it happened regardless in the back of the field. So the lights are out on top of the pace car once again. Corey Carpenter on the inside is going to restart as the leader. He'll be the control car. Jake Nichols once again on the outside. Skyoli moves up to third. Paul Irvin now up to fourth with Jordan Martin P5. Boy, we've seen these guys. Yep.
Hey, Hunter, don't mention Paul Irvin, remember?
I broke the commentator's curse. Oh, well, so sue me. But yeah, fifth is, as soon as I say that, he's blinking, so I did break it. Jordan Martin, fifth. Garrett Heath in P6 with Randy Bechtel, seventh. Michael Arch, eighth. Haven't talked about him all night, and he's inside the top 10. David Weishart was inside the top 10, but found his way in the back, and now he finds himself back inside the top 10 with Forrest Smith. And here we go, pace car down pit road. Carpenter on the inside, going to get the launch, and we are back racing from the capital of Delaware.
Oh,
The cost
very
is back
quick.
out.
Forrest Smith, 84-22 looks like also involved in this. Dominic Leo.
It looked like right behind Weishart is where there is a massive gap. And that is where race cars were just a turn ago. They were coming down to the restart. But we'll take a look at our one to go replay again. And look at a massive crash. Another car going up in the air, upside down. Boy, oh boy. Brad Slaughter was involved in that one as well. Yeah, it happened right up here. Oh, yeah, it looked like that's a car in front of him. So the purple car below the 00, is that Balancino? Might have been Balancino.
That was the 70. Yep. Yeah, Alan
Balancino. Yeah. And that's the 00 of Will Davis. And they're getting into Forrest Smith. So this is right here, just that contact into Will Davis, into Forrest Smith, and wow, it took out a handful of drivers behind him. I don't want to say everyone because obviously he didn't take out everyone, but it took out quite a few drivers. Had a car go up in the air and upside down. We watched from above the racetrack. There they are, wrecking, flipping. I think that was Dom DeLeo flipping. So it looks like he might join Jacob Bell down there in the infield care center. Getting some treatment done. Might have a concussion or two or 7. Yep, there he is.
Oh, wow.
It's a massive airtime there for the 22. Both figuratively and literally.
Catch fence much?
It did its job. It kept the car in the racetrack and not in the grandstands. You know what? He didn't even go upside down. That is the third time Dom DeLeo has been on his side. That car will not go upside down. Miles the Monster is continuing to try and put that 22 on its lid, and it just can't do it.
Dom DeLeo, speaking of which, is still out on the racetrack. No hood, no bumper, sitting in 15th.
Holy cow.
And he is still out there.
There's no quit in that 22 car. Oh, well, now we're inside 10 to go, and it's still the same top 3, top 4, top 5. It really hasn't changed much. We didn't get that far.
Oh, Dominic.
Have a meatball, yeah. He says Dom DeLeo.
I see it in chat right now. Oh, no.
If he isn't already, he'll be 100% Italian by the time this comes down to the end with all the meatballs he's having.
Meatballs are not cleared, I do not believe. Correct?
You can't clear a meatball. It's an iRacing thing. Mechanically, the only way to get it cleared is to come down pit lane and get the required service to get your car back into shape.
Oh, okay. I thought they could be cleared. Okay. That's new to me.
Looked like the 03 of Brian Dixon disconnected for a brief moment, but he's back in. Alan Balancino has disconnected, so he is done for the night. And it looks like we're going to get the one to go this time by, so we are within 10 laps to go now. Boy, Will Davis still 10th place after that. Oh my, what a race this has been.
Harold, I've been on iRacing since 2016, and I've always thought they could be cleared. My bad.
We're actually looking through our chat. They can be cleared, just not in area competition.
Oh, okay.
Area is different. It don't play by the rules. It's got its own rules.
They don't do resets either, I've noticed. If you get damaged, guess what?
Nope.
You gotta get it fixed. So that kind of cleared that up.
Yeah, no resets in area as well. But they will have one here. So they reset for the restart. Corey Carpenter, the control car, once again on the bottom. Jake Nichols on the outside with James Scioli, Paul Irvin, and Jordan Martin rounding out the top 5. Pace car works his way down pit road once again. We're going to go green flag racing from Dover, Delaware here with a handful of laps to go. Oh, that was close. I'm not sure if the 30 cleared the start-finish line before moving into the outside lane. That's going to be close there. The interesting move. I mean, nonetheless, he's still leading. James Scioli in third, but Jake Nichols is in second. Car in the wall there, that's Wiseheart. Boy, these front 3 are running away from the rest of the field. Carpenter continuing the lead with Jake Nichols breathing down his neck.
Now, I'm not an admin, Hunter, and I did go back and take a look at that. To me, it looks like he did move up. But that's just me. That's just from what I see.
We await if there's any word from Series Director Pierce Maffin on that. Don't believe there will be, as they are continuing to race, and the 91 of Jake Nichols continuing to get closer to that bumper of Corey Carpenter.
Yeah, he's right there. Not giving up.
Trying to find some more speed there on that upper groove.
All right, guys. Corey Carpenter has been black flagged by Pierce Moffitt for legal lane change.
Ouch.
Gonna hurt, especially in the closing laps here. It did look like he moved into the outside lane before crossing the start-finish line, and that is exactly what has been called by Series Director Pierce Moffitt. So the 30 car will not be winning this race. The 91 of Jake Nichols now moves into the lead with just 2 laps to go. Boy, that is a tough one to swallow if you're Corey Carpenter. You lead the most laps, and then you have that one little slip up there at the very end. They come off turn 4, white flag out in the air one final time around Dover, presented by One to Go Studios. So Corey Carpenter will not be getting the win. It'll be either James Scioli in the 7 or the 91 of Jake Nichols. And as the field works their way through 3 and 4 for the final time, it's going to be the 91 of Jake Nichols that's going to come home with the win. He wins at Dover. And Corey Carpenter wrecks in frustration. And they continue to crash in turn 1. Wow, what a
turn of events.
Yeah. Boy, that is extremely unfortunate there to see. Drama right at the very end of this one. And the 91 of Jake Nichols is going to come home a winner. It's his second win of the season, the first repeat winner in the Cup Series. We'll get a word from our podium drivers in just a moment. There is the 9 of Nate Trito. Nate Trito is back out celebrating with his teammates. Looks like it's a Polish victory lap for the 91 of Jake Nichols. With Scioli moving into second. And how about this? Paul Irvin in the 48 coming home P3. That is quite the victory there in itself for Paul Irvin. '91 continues his Polish victory lap now, going through turn 2 and turn 1. But this one was a wild one, to say the least. I mean, what a race this turned out to be, and what a win this is for Jake Nichols. Let's go ahead and bring him up in the booth right now. Jake Nichols, the race winner. Jake, this is Hunter, Harold, and Josh in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, it seemed like you were going to get second. I mean, just the car on the inside lane, wherever the leader went, they just had the preferred line on the launch, but Corey Carpenter moved up on the outside lane before crossing the start-finish line. Take us through your perspective on that move.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention to it. Like when they made the call, I was so confused because I was so focused on clearing James in the restart zone and into turn 1 that I wasn't really looking in front of me because I knew Corey was already gonna have the lead and just be gone. So I was doing what I could to watch behind me and make sure I got clear. But you don't want to win that way. I'd rather earn it straight up past Corey for the win. I was trying, even with the penalty, I was still trying to get there, but Dirty Air was just a little too much. I think that's why James was running high there at the end. He was just trying to get a run and try to make something of it. It was just so hard to do anything, especially on the short run when we're just all so hard in the throttle and just trying to dig around the corners. But yeah, I mean, I'll take the win any day of the week. It helps with team points. Our Solar Flare Racing Toyota Camrys are just trying to stack points. We had Tyler Nichols finish 13th there last second. That really helps us out with staying consistent and getting some points. But yeah, some people will think that's controversial at call. Some won't. I'll have to go take a look at it myself just to have my own opinion about it. But either way, I'm happy to be here in Victory Lane.
Josh, any word for Jake?
Just, man, I know that's probably not the way you wanted to get it, but hey, a win's a win, man. Congratulations, Jake.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Well, I'll say one thing. I will say we saw you opt to not qualify, and you worked your way from the back to the front. How different is that? Working your way from the back to the front, especially at a track like Dover. It's a 1 mile concrete oval. You got chaos going on all over the place. What does that do for the race car? Starting all the way back, and I believe you started 29th or 30th?
I think it was 29th. Yeah, I wish I could say I opted out of qualifying. I casually wrecked it out of turn 4 coming to the checker to my lap, but we'll just act like I did that on purpose. But it was rough. I mean, these guys are all getting faster and faster as we go each week, and it's really even. Like in iRacing nowadays, everyone is very similar pace. So as long as you know what you're doing, you got a shot out there. And there wasn't a lot of give or take early. I got actually turned on lap 2 and thankfully got saved by the same car hitting me in the left front. But it happens. Everyone's driving hard. I get it. it was disappointing to see that early, but yeah, it's just hard getting through there, man. Like there was one run where it was easy, like everyone was just taking it easy, and I could just go through them all. But other than that, it was rough. It was really hard. Everyone's driving pretty good back there, and pretty smart for the most part. There was some cases of not that, but overall, the car drove good even with damage. We had 40 some seconds of damage, so I think we did pretty good considering that. And the Toyota Camry gave us a hell of a ride, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. I think we go to Kansas next week. That should be an interesting one. I haven't raced there with this car yet, so I don't know what to really expect. But either way, it was really fun and really challenging getting through the field tonight.
To say the real winner tonight is the car that did not receive damage. I don't think there's one car in this field that didn't have at least some damage. But I mean, yeah, we do go to Kansas next weekend. You do lead us down the yellow brick road into that track. Any shots you'd like to give up before you go?
Yeah, everyone at Solar Flare Racing, all the guys. I hate to see it for Corey because we're friends. We're hanging out. We're racing together, and you hate to see that for anybody, a late penalty, especially when it's like 3 or 4 to go, so there's no turning it back, like you can't make anything out of it. But hate to see it for him. I'm glad Tyler Nichols got a good finish. I wish Nate Trado could have got the finish he deserved, and I wish Ethan Kurtz and Dwayne Culberson didn't get damaged. Same with Shane Williamson. But races aren't going to always go your way, so they just got to keep their head up, move forward. And thanks to everyone at Area for putting on this series and this league. Same with Elite Entertainment for sponsoring, and you guys for doing the broadcasts. I enjoy going back and watching them, and I'm sure I'll enjoy watching me go through the field tonight and seeing all the challenges of everyone getting through this racetrack.
You see all the challenges and all the cars going up, and there must have been like 5 or 6 times where a car got on its side, and half of it was Dom DeLeo. That car could not turn over. But yeah, there was a lot to unpack from this race, and you came out on top. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, we'll let you go and celebrate that victory. Was Jake Nichols coming home with the win. Now let's bring up our second place finisher, James Scioli, who I thought was a part of Jacob Bell Racing, but was a part of David Weishart Racing, coming up with a strong second place finish. That buck kicker number 7. This is Hunter, Harold, and Josh up here in the booth. Got a copy.
Yep, I got you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that you were second quickest in practice, and you put down a pretty good lap time in qualifying. Said keep an eye on that 7 car. He might be up to something. And I mean, you were. You had a top 5 car. Chaos was going on behind you, in front of you, near you. I mean, but take us through that last restart, because we saw Corey Carpenter move up into the outside lane before he crossed the start-finish line. What was your perspective on that?
Honestly, I didn't see it. I had chat muted, so I didn't even hear anything. I didn't realize that the battle with me and Jake was going to be for the win. I just knew I was going to try and I was obviously going to try and get Jake no matter what. So my plans didn't change. It was just try and put down a bunch of qualifying laps and see if I could get him. But it was tough to turn in the dirty air, so I was kind of stuck behind him trying to work the outside, and I was getting real good runs off the corner. I just could never quite get close enough to actually make a move stick. So, but yeah, I didn't realize that he had the penalty until I saw the black flag pop up, and then I realized it was with me and Jake for the win.
Josh, anything to add?
Well, James, man, Miles, as Hunter would say, Miles the Monster was pretty much a monster out here tonight, man. Other than that, how was the race car out there? How was the setup? How was the tire wear during those decent green flag runs?
It wasn't too bad. Once we could finally get some laps under it, the car's actually really stable. You just everybody was just wrecking on the restarts, but once you got some laps under it, the car was pretty stable, and then it took off a little tight. The right front wears out quite a bit, but on the long runs, I was definitely, I still had a top 5 car. It wasn't the fastest, but I was able to keep it there. It was nice and stable and drove good in the top 5 all day.
Awesome job, bud. P2 hitter down. I'm going to send it back to Hunter here.
Yep. I just want to ask one thing, because we saw this happen quite a bit in turn 2 and turn 4. It seems like the exit of the corners, that wall just comes out and bites you. How difficult is that to see from the driver's seat?
It's pretty tough. You don't really realize that you're tight until really late in the corner, so it's hard to kind of judge. Normally at a lot of other tracks, your car takes off up the hill in the middle of the corner, but this one, it's really that 3/4 to exit mark, the car gets really tight, and that's when you start to notice it. And then at that point, it's really hard to keep it out the wall. So I definitely had a couple moments like that where it got pretty close, a lot closer than I wanted it to be for sure.
You came home with a second place finish, a strong finish for that butt kicker number 7. You almost kicked everyone's butt.
Almost.
Yeah. Any shout-outs you'd like to give out before you go?
Thanks to you guys in the booth for sitting through another one of these caution fests. I know it's not the most exciting thing, but I appreciate you guys being up there, and I know Area's really working hard to put on the best product, so big thanks to them as well. And then thanks to Butt Kicker and David Weishart Esports. David was able to get a good finish, so we scored some good team points today. Hopefully we'll be looking at the top of the board here soon.
I don't think anyone got their butt kicked as hard as Dom DeLeo, because we saw about 6 or 7 times a car got on its side, and half of it was Dom DeLeo. I mean, that for some reason that car would not turn over, but nonetheless, Dover is a challenging track, and coming on with a second place finish is a strong way to roll into Kansas for next week. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
That was second place finisher James Skyley. Now let's bring up third place finisher Paul Irvin. They call him Swervin' Irvin, living up to that nickname. P3 for the number 48. This is Hunter, Harold, and Josh in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Boy, well, we kind of figured it was going to be a dogfight for that third place between, say, Weishart, Trito, or even Corey Carpenter, but one by one they started to fade, and you just continue to work your way through the top 10, through the top 5, and then you came home P3. Take us through what your night was like.
Yeah, so I had a awful qualifying set up there, hit the wall coming off of 4. So knew just had to get through some of the cautions early, keep it clean. And like you said, little by little, 2 cars here, 3 cars there, start picking them off as they make just little mistakes. And yeah, well, just wound up where we need to be there at the end to get a podium finish.
Yeah, and then obviously what happened to Corey, it moved everyone up a spot, and it propelled you into the third position. I don't know if you had a good view of it, but the first 2 guys, they didn't really see it. Was there any? Yeah, I need a drink, but did you see the move made from Carpenter on the restart?
I'm with the other 2. I really didn't. I had to go watch the replay on it because I was too busy battling with Jordan there on the inside on that restart, because I knew that if he got to my inside through 1 and 2, that I'd be dropping back to at least 7th or 8th. So yeah. I knew that I had to get around him there. So that's where my head was on that restart.
Yeah, we saw they were side by side for 4th and 5th place at the time, but the front 3 pulled away, and then we got the word of it with 3 to go. I mean, on the broadcast, it looked close. Didn't want to 100% say what it was. It looked like it, but wasn't 100% sure. Then we got the call from Pierce Maffett that it was exactly what we saw. Josh, anything to add?
Yeah. So I got something to add. You know, when you got up, you started 33rd, man. Also finished first and foremost P3 here. You got up into the top 5, and we started talking about you, and somebody in chat, told us to shut up because of the commentators curse. So we shut up, and look where you finished, P3. Awesome job, buddy.
I want to say I didn't shut up.
Yeah,
I had to keep going.
I actually had it pulled up during the race, so I could hear you guys. So I'm going to say didn't win it, but I'm going to say that that's a broken curse, at least for this week. So appreciate you guys being up here in the booth, putting on a hell of a show, and giving me my nickname. Hope I did it proud tonight.
P3, that is the best place to be on the racetrack for Paul Irvin. Any shout-outs you'd like to give out before you go?
Yeah, shout out obviously to Elite Entertainment and Adam Katz for having me on the team. Not a points driver here in the Cup, but he gives me a car, he lets me run, so I appreciate that from him. And shout out to the league, to Jacob Bell, for putting on just a hell of a league here. And again, shout out to you guys for putting on one hell of a show, and hope we do it again next week for you.
Hopefully for Dom's sake, his car won't be on his side Because quite literally half of the time that car got on his side, it was Dom. So he's hoping to stay on all fours for Kansas, and we're hoping to see the fast pace from the number 48 continue into next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope we keep this momentum going. I'm going to go celebrate, though.
All righty, we'll let you do that. Paul Irvin coming home with P3. That is such a cool thing to see. Take a look at the rest of our finishing results real quick. Oh, we'll take a look at our race recap presented by Elwood Design. So Jake Nichols gets the win. 13 cautions for 52 laps. Miles was hungry for some race cars. And Jake Nichols, we got it. A fast lap in the 22-second mark from that number 91, a 22.875. And now we'll take a look at your finishing results from the Monster Mile 160. So Jake Nichols, James Scully, Paul Irvin, that is your podium. Rounding out the top 5, Garrett Heath coming home 4th, and Randy Bechtel in the 5th spot. Solid finish for him. David Weissart coming home P6, Will Davis 7th, Michael Larch 8th, Jordan Martin 9th, and how about Gary Lewis coming home with a top 10?
Awesome job by Gary Lewis here. Now, Brian Dixon is going to finish in that 11th spot. Tyler Nichols will finish in 12th here. Delonte Ballard 13th. Drew Trader in 14th. Nate Trito 15th. Corey Carpenter, tough break for Corey. He'll finish in 16th here. Ryan Swan 17th. Dominic DeLeo. Hey, a top 20 for Dominic there in 18th. Garrett Grant 19th. And Fort Smith 20th.
That is quite the run there for Dom to finish 18th after being on his side 3 times. And twice in the same wreck. Oh, man. Well, Brad Slar going to come home P21. Adam Capps 22nd with Alan Balancino 23rd. Ed Robertson, Eli Green rounding out the top 25 with Dwayne Culberson, Matthew Robinson, Jay Perkins, Daniel Miglin, and Jacob Bell rounding out the top 30.
Mark Patterson, 31st. Connor Okresic, 32nd. Cameron Hearn, 33rd. Ethan Kurtz, 34th. Rafe Slate, 35th. Shane Wolf, James, 36th. Nicholas Johnston, 37th. Chris Seidenfaden, 38th. Matt Alverson, 39th. Justin Wilson in 40th. Ryan Hart's 41st. And Shane Williams, 42nd.
Well, Josh, our picks did not last long, but Harold's did. And it stood out to be the race-winning pick. Congrats, Harold.
Yep. Have we finished the betting as well? Because I haven't seen that on the Twitch.
I believe the betting will finish if it hasn't finished already. I think it has.
No, it hasn't paid out.
Oh, well, eventually it will pay out. Otherwise, we'll have
it need to pay me. It's been really good about taking my money.
It's always good at taking money.
So you need to give it because I actually picked, Jake and the Solder guys, so I should be getting a return on my investment, right?
Absolutely, it's always the return that takes the longest on your investment.
It's so quick to take it too. But I think it's way in Vegas as well, right?
That's anywhere, regardless of the location.
Okay.
And it'll work out the same next week when we go to Kansas for race number 6 of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. Catch the action from Dover tomorrow night for the CNC Logan Truck Series over here on Area iRacing Twitch. And then Thursday night for the Lodgebox Series as well. From everyone up here in the booth to executive producer Harold Darner and Josh Mellock, I'm Hunter Sleppy saying so long. We'll see you later.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.